What's up, everybody? This is the Sports League Podcast. Back for another week. I'm your host, Alex Leak. We got the co-host, Amanda, who has stolen the lead from me. Now it's a one-game lead. Amanda, how are you feeling going into week 10?
I don't care about our picks this year. The NFL is drunk. I I couldn't care less. My picks this week are going to be interesting though. There's some teams I'm just not really trusting despite their records at the moment.
There's a lot of teams that I don't trust, and it's such a week-to-week league this year, more than ever, it seems. And but I'm excited to get into these games and make our picks. But first, we have to recap Thursday Night Football. And this is another game of I don't know what to expect. The Raiders at the Broncos. You expect Denver to win this one to pretty much blow it out. But they
Yeah.
have this issue with slow starts that's been plaguing them all year long. And it happened again in this game. 10-7 is the final. I mean, an ugly game all around, right?
Oh my God, it was so ugly. And like I like that weather plays a factor in games. Like I'm cool with the missed kicks because the wind blew it. I'm cool with six punts going out of bounds because the wind blew them. Like the
Yeah.
ball moving before they can even snap it and they have to roll it back to where it's supposed to be. That's totally fine. Like weather is fun. Weather can affect the game. I love me a good snow game. But you're going to tell me the leading receiver for the Raiders was signed a week and a half ago and had 44 yards for five receptions. Like, first of all, garbage stats. Everyone, like, you and I were joking because they named Bo Nix the player of the game. And you're like, ew. I'm like, but who are you going to
Yeah.
pick? Everyone was horrible. Like, it wasn't one of those, like, low scoring, oh, the defense was lights out. It was so ugly. Like, we had horrible throws, awful, awful play calls. Like, why is Bo Nix dropping back and running around like he's playing tag on the playground on a third and long?
Well, yeah, Bo Nix struggled, but Sean Payton struggled play calling too. I
Oh,
didn't understand a
horrible
lot
play
of
calling. Bad decision making by the
yeah.
players on the field, but awful job setting them up. I'm just curious, does Denver know which direction they're supposed to be moving the ball? Because there were so many run plays where there's a hole in the center, and they're like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna go around." Like, no, go to the middle, run
Yeah.
up the middle. Like, it's 2 yards. You need 3 yards there. Run up the middle. I don't know what that was. That was horrible. But shout out to the Broncos. It was their first primetime win against a divisional opponent in 8 years. So a little silver
Yeah.
lining for them. But I mean, horrible, horrible game. This is just the second game since 1950 to have more penalties, 22 penalties split down the middle, 80 yards each, 11 each, more penalties than first downs.
That's impressive. You got to give it to
Impressively
him.
shitty is what that is.
I would say, yeah, and the Raiders had a chance in the first half to have a decent lead. They could have scored
Yeah.
3 touchdowns, but two of them called back on penalty. I didn't understand not getting Brock Bowers involved at all.
Mhm.
That's been one of their consistencies. At
Well,
least feed him,
and
but they didn't do that.
he had an amazing game last week. Like why aren't we repeating
Yeah,
the play call? Like this worked. It was awesome. Let's not do it again.
I don't
So
know. Very
so
confusing.
I have a recommendation to all of our listeners. Get yourself a token Denver Broncos fan to watch games with because it is fun. They're so frustrating. Like watching it with a Broncos fan, they're like, run up the middle. Why are you going up the go to the hole? Like it's hilarious because it's horrific to watch, but I'm super casual because I picked Denver to win and I assumed Denver was going to win because the Raiders will just give them back the ball. Like the Raiders can't score in this game. Like watching it, I was like, oh, don't worry, you'll get the ball back. Like, and every time I was right, but get you a Denver Broncos fan because I'm going to compare this year's team to the Chiefs of last year. And not in the way that, like, oh, I think they're going to go to the Super Bowl and lose. Like, in the way that every week they're winning, but it is the ugliest, most horrific, most accidental wins. It looks like they're
Yeah.
trying to lose every single week, and it's ugly.
Yeah, we know how bad the Raiders are and have been all year long. And for this game to be as close as it was is not good. They barely beat the Davis Mills Texans last week. They were shut out through 3 quarters against the Giants. So Denver, you would expect Sean Payton to have that offense rolling. But Bo Nix has been inconsistent. And I just don't know. the offense is struggling, very slow starts in a lot of their games, and they have to get that figured out. 8 game winning streak, right? Or 7 game win streak, cool, but you're
Yeah,
not going to go far
their
in the
streak is
playoffs.
so crazy. So it's 7 game winning streak. It's the longest or the most wins in the shortest span of days since the 1973 Dolphins. Like that's
That's
crazy to
wild.
me. Like they're so bad though. And then you look at like the ranking of quarterback success rate with their passes. Bo Nix is 31st in the NFL.
That's crazy. And I thought earlier in the year, and at moments, he looks great at moments, but it's just way too inconsistent. Luckily for them, their defense is elite and can
Mhm.
keep the score down, and they find ways to win. But Denver has to clean this before the playoffs start.
The Chiefs coming to town
Oh
against
yeah.
Denver. I am so excited for that game because I expect it to be just hideous but scrappy. And I feel like Bo Nix is Jekyll and Hyde. Like I feel like we're gonna get good Bo Nix in that game. I don't know if they were just looking past this one to the next one, which is not a valid excuse in the NFL. Like show up to work every day, guys. But I'm intrigued
Yeah.
to see how that one plays out.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I think Denver still wins that game, but and I could see that one being sloppy too. It's not like the
Mhm.
Chiefs are playing great football right now either.
No, it's
So
that whole division is just questionable.
wild. Yeah. The Raiders fire special teams coordinator Tom McMahon after the game after allowing a blocked punt and a missed game tying field goal late. So Pete Carroll said enough of that. Um, so yeah, we'll see. The Broncos 8-2, great record, 7 game winning streak, but we'll see if they can figure it out going forward because they have not been impressive the last like 3 weeks now. So
No, and it's crazy. And they have all these wins. And if you look at the teams they've beat, like so far, look at their records now, not a single one of them is a winning team at this point.
yeah.
Like what a conveniently timed schedule. Hopefully they figure it out for the second half of the season, but it'll be fun to see how this plays out for them.
Yeah, they play the Chiefs, the Packers, the Jags, the Chiefs, and the Chargers are their tough games remaining. So we'll see how they look. Plenty of time to try to fix these issues. But let's get into our picks. Let's start things out. We got a early morning game tomorrow. I know you're excited to get up at 6:30 and watch the Falcons and the Colts in Berlin, Germany. Abe is there. John
So
Abraham, you have to get up just
I
to
would
support
say
Abe.
I'm not excited to get up, but to support Abe because he's there. And guys, he's been sending us videos of the food he's eating there, and my German soul is just so jealous. Like, oh, it looks so good. So shout out to Abe. He's having a grand time over there. So I'll be intrigued to see what he has to say after this one. But I will get up and at least watch the second half and not be a bum. So
It
I'll commit to
looks
this.
like a lot of Falcons fans too. So
Yeah, they travel well. I love
yeah,
seeing how many fans show up to the international games. Like it's so funny to me. Like you see people who have like grown up in like Sweden and stuff traveling for these games. I'm like, how did you end up a fan of an American team? Like, how did you
yeah,
pick that one? Like, I love that there's fans, but like, what? I would love to hear the story of how they ended up a fan of Atlanta.
yeah. Well, yeah, and a lot of them traveled too, so it's gonna be very interesting. We'll see what the fan situation is like around kickoff and
Do you
throughout
think we'll
that
have
game.
referees making calls in German like the last German NFL game?
Yeah, yeah, that was cool. I forgot
That was
about
super
that.
cool. Do we know who the
Yeah,
ref is? Hotchely doing this one too?
I have no clue. I haven't looked that one up, but we'll see if they do that. But yeah, I mean, the Colts are looking for a big bounce back win though, coming off a tough loss against the Steelers, 6 turnovers in that game. So if you're Indy, I think the goal and the focus of this game is just protect the football, especially if you're Daniel Jones. And that's the key. We know who Daniel Jones is. We know who he's been throughout his career, and he's always been a high turnover guy. So if the Falcons can get pressure on him with that pass rush, maybe they can force a couple turnovers. I expect this game to be closer than a lot of people think. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Daniel Jones is like Jared Goff, where he will either have a ridiculous game or he'll have a game with a lot of picks and sometimes squeak out a win anyway. But I mean, we've got the top ranked pass defense coming against him after so many of their weaknesses were highlighted by Pittsburgh. So
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a very well matched. I love both running backs in this game. I think it's gonna be a very competitive game. We've got some key injuries in this game too. But I like that the Colts seem to be going all in on this season. You look at what they did before the trade deadline. We got Sauce Gardner coming in this one. I
Yeah.
expect the Colts to be able to pull off a win. They just seem like they're spicy and committed, and we're just gonna like forget about last week and just kind of scratch that one off the board, take that as the mulligan, and continue. But I feel like Gardner's gonna bring some personality into this one, and I don't see them not going down without a fight.
Yeah, I love the running back matchup, like you mentioned. Two elite running backs, Bijan Robinson against Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor still leading the league in rushing yards and touchdowns. A big missing piece, though, is DeForest Buckner is on IR, Colts
Yeah.
defensive tackle. So I wonder if that helps get Bijan going in this game. The Falcons are going to need it. Yeah, Sauce Gardner is going to provide a spark. We'll see how he looks in his team
Where
debut.
Where do you think they line him up? Do you think they're going to have him on Drake London, like immediately throw him in aggressive matchup? Do you think like, I mean, because
I
they did
would.
that with Travarius Ward. Um, so I'm
Yeah,
wondering if that comes out
I
this week or if
would.
they save that for later.
Well, Drake London went crazy just last week with three touchdowns, and that was against Christian Gonzalez. So
Mhm.
it would be smart to put your number one corner on him.
But I mean, he's so new. Like, is he number one yet? Like, does he have the potential to be? To be? Yeah. But like, does he know the players? Is he ready to go? It'll be interesting
Well,
to see if they like let him ease in or they just like, no, do your job.
yeah. If it were me, if it were my team, day one, as soon as he's on the
Yeah.
roster, it's like your number one corner,
Yeah.
right? So,
That would be my thing. Like Drake London's your guy. That's all you have to worry about. Also, these are our signals.
well, and you talk about how hard to predict the Falcons have been. You never know who they're going to be week to week. But even last week, they only lost by 1 point against a red hot Patriots team.
Oh,
So,
trust me, I am very excited about that 1 point. That's the first time I've picked Atlanta right all season. Um, so that being said, in this one, I am gonna pick Indy. I think it'll be very close. But I feel like there's no way Indianapolis drops another game like they did last week. I feel like that was such a smack in the face for them, a huge reality check. I'm seeing them address it with the moves they've made before the trade deadline. So I think they squeak out of this one with the win. But I do think
did
it's
you
going to be
listen?
close.
Did you listen to the quarter this week, or are you throwing that one away? It's no good.
No, do you want me to go flip it? Do we want to see what the quarter says?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go grab the quarter. I didn't listen to it last week, so I was gonna retire it. But I'll grab the Falcons quarter.
All right. For me, I'm going with the Falcons here. I think I talked about it last week on the podcast and I compared this Colts team to the 2021 Cardinals, who started 7-0, but started coming back down to earth the second half of the season and then lost immediately in the playoffs. I think
In
this.
case they think I'm joking, there's legitimately a Falcons quarter. All right, we're gonna flip it. We'll let the floor decide. All right, it picked Falcons, so
Okay.
yeah.
Well, it
It
picked the
picked them
Falcons.
last week though,
Yeah.
so
So if you're gonna, so you're going against the quarter 2 weeks in a row.
yeah, it worked last week, so I'm gonna just roll with it.
I'm taking the Falcons here. I think they forced Daniel Jones into three turnovers instead of five, and I hope that's enough. I think no DeForest Buckner helps Bijan get off, and that's going to be the key of the game. Bijan Robinson needs to go for 150 and two touchdowns.
You said it helps Bijan get off. Sorry, I'm gonna.
You
You
know
can
what I
edit.
mean.
You can edit that out if you want, but that's inappropriate. That needs to go on one of those clips that it's like, oh, when my husband is watching football and I'm trying to read my spicy books and I start hearing things. One of those reels. Now continue with how you want to get Bijan off. Tell me more.
No, the Colts are going to get Bijan off. I'm just going to watch Bijan get off.
Uh,
So.
that's so Alex will be cucking for the Atlanta Falcons.
Anyway, so we disagree on the first game of the week. So good start.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
no, the first game of the week happened and we agreed on that one, technically.
all right,
Denver.
the early morning Sunday game.
Yes.
So we'll start
Yes.
Sunday off with a disagreement. Let's talk about my Chicago Bears. They're expected to be snow in this game at Soldier Field as the 2-7 Giants come in to play the 5-3 Bears. New York on a 3-game losing streak. The Bears coming off an insane shootout win over the Bengals, 47-42. Caleb Williams with his best career performance, albeit against a terrible Bengals defense. How do you see this one going? I think the Bears can keep it rolling at home, and the weather might play a role in this one too.
So I'm actually pretty happy with the Bears right now. Like they're
Hmm.
quietly being relatively consistent. Caleb Williams is on pace for 4,000 passing yards. I mean, the current franchise record is 3,800. Like if you look at like what they're doing, I don't think they're a Super Bowl ready team this year by any means, but they're quietly building something and working on their connections. And like you see how just mature he's looking. He's not listening to any of the media stuff. I know there's a lot of conservative NFL fans who have a lot of issues with Caleb Williams for his
Yeah.
personal style choices, but is it affecting his play? Not
Yeah.
really. Like, and I was talking shit about Caleb Williams when he said, "Oh, don't worry, you're not going to be punting that much" to their punter last year. But they've only punted 26 times in 8 games, which is the fewest amount by a Bears team in the Super Bowl era.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he wasn't wrong. He just said it a year too early.
And credit to Ben Johnson, who seems to be getting this offense going. Shout out rookie running back Kyle Monangai, who went for like almost 200
He's
yards.
so freaking good. If you do
Yeah.
a comparison with who was drafted ahead of him at that position in the league this year and him, like everybody
Yeah.
drafted wrong. Like
Those those Rutgers running backs, there's something to it. Isaiah Pacheco and Al Monangai.
it's crazy. Like you compare his numbers to Ashton Genty, who is like the premier discussed running back at this point in the season. I mean, he's putting up some numbers.
I think I'd still take Ashton Genty, but
No, but
I
I'm
like
just saying
Monangai.
like but like you look at like a first round compared to a
Yeah.
seventh rounder, like you wouldn't expect them to be as close as they are in numbers. Like, yeah, everyone would take Ashton Genty with his creepy stance, but that's
So,
not what you would expect out of a seventh round running back. Like there should be many people in between them in those rookie stats at that position.
yeah, facts. And love to see the production from him last week. Ben Johnson has this offense ranked sixth in the NFL right now. The Lions are actually ranked 11th. So the Bears offense getting it going. Um,
And we expected a bit of a drop off for Detroit's offense with offense and defense with the coordinator
I think you're
situation.
starting to see it a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, you can
Yeah.
feel it. I think it's so funny that the entire division is above 500, but
Yeah.
like the Packers and Detroit are not like we're not content with where we're at. We're like, ew, we both had some ugly losses. Meanwhile, Minnesota and Chicago are like, yay, with the same records. It cracks me up how like where the expectations were and how fans are reacting to it. Like Green Bay fans are like, gross. Meanwhile, Chicago
Yeah.
fans are like, hell yeah, we're doing awesome.
Yeah, it's just fun to have a competitive division. Minnesota actually now is 500, and we'll see if they can get back above it this week. But I'm taking the Bears at home, especially with the snow factor. Are you taking the Bears as well?
I am gonna take them. I just feel like the drop off with the Giants this week. I mean, there's just they've been through so much and they've overcome a lot of issues, but
Yeah.
they
Injuries.
the injuries and like you look at how their defense is doing. I mean, giving up 33 points, 140 yards on the ground each of their last 3 games. Like
Yeah.
I feel like they're in a slump. I don't think they've done enough. Like what could they have done to improve from this? It's not like they made some huge moves before the trade deadline. Like they just haven't filled the holes that needed to be addressed moving into this week. So I feel like their losing streak continues.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, without Cam Scatterboo, without Malik Neighbors, it just seems to be piling up. No Graham Gano as well. So Younghoe Koo is going to be kicking for the Giants in this game. With potential snow, I don't like that matchup, So I think all signs are pointing to Chicago here, so we agree
Yeah.
with the
Especially,
Bears.
I do have to say Jackson Dart is pretty conservative as far as his interceptions, but the Bears
Yeah.
are leading the league um, with 19 turnovers this year. So
Hmm.
I think with him missing one of his favorite people on offense, we might see a couple Jackson Dart turnovers here.
Yeah, I hope so. Let's go to Bills at Dolphins. Bills with a statement win against the Chiefs last week. They're back on a winning streak. In come the Dolphins off a blowout loss. They fired their GM. They traded away Jalen Phillips. Uh, I think the one in Miami, but again, division rivalry. It could be closer than we think. No Ed Oliver for Buffalo. They lost Michael Hoyt is a big loss as well, but I can't pick the Dolphins. I got to go the Bills here.
I'm absolutely rolling with the Bills here for many reasons. I mean, the Dolphins letting go of their GM, like the head coach and quarterback are talking about their job security. Meanwhile, you look at the
Yeah,
Bills who just took down the AFC's big and bad. They're fawning over like the whole team is in love with each other. Like they just seem very cohesive. You look at what happened. Like Hoyt popped his ACL last week. And they were like, "Hey, you busted your ACL. Let's get you out of here." And he was like, "Can I stay?" He stayed and sat on the bench for the rest of the game last week after rupturing his ACL or his Achilles, sorry. He just
Achilles. Yeah.
stayed and sat there and rooted his team on as they took down the AFC champions from last year. Like
Hmm.
the dedication from this team, I would be absolutely shocked if they lost to the floundering Dolphins.
Yeah, 100%. We agree on that one. It might be closer than we expect, but in no way are the Dolphins going to win this one, I don't think.
No,
I
and
will.
aren't they
Yeah.
like 16-2 against Miami?
Yeah, I would believe so. Josh Allen owns them. Um,
Yeah, 16-2
yeah,
since 2017.
yeah. So Buffalo's got this one in the bag. At least they should. One thing that disappointed me was that Brandon Beane, the Bills GM, didn't make any trades at the deadline. I would have loved to get something.
It sounds like they were in a lot of conversations. They just didn't
Yeah,
have enough. Like they were trying. Like I'm not gonna fault teams if they're involved in conversations and they're trying to make moves, but somebody has a better offer. Like you only have so many picks to trade.
yeah.
Um, so at least they were in conversations. Meanwhile, there were some teams that just sat there and did nothing. Green Bay. That like you have issues to address. Like at least be in the conversations. I didn't hear conversations about Green Bay doing anything other than visiting with a free agent. That's all we did.
Pittsburgh too. No movement from
Yeah.
Detroit. I was a little bit confused.
Very strange. I'm going to circle
Yeah.
back to what we talked about last week. I would love just like a thread of all the conversations. I wish it was on a message board and NFL teams had to say, "Hey, we're interested in this guy. What do you want for him?" I feel like it would be so fun for the fans to see what teams want, who they're talking to, who they're asking about, and just to see like, "Oh, my team did make an offer for like six different players and they were just all beat out on the trade market."
How cool would it be to like have live video of the GMs talking back and forth and discussing trade parameters and all that? That'd be
So
awesome.
fun. I think videos
Yeah.
would be too complicated. I think it's got to
Yeah.
be like a message board.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'd look like a murder screen. You'd have this like the Brady Bunch intro with just all the GMs on one screen at a time.
Well, you could like pick one GM and listen to that conversation, or I don't know.
Red zone the GMs on the
Yeah.
phone. Terrible.
So we agree on the Bills in Miami. Let's talk about this game. This is actually pretty interesting. The 3-5 Ravens at the 4-4 Vikings. Ravens coming off a blowout win over the Dolphins, a two-game winning streak. They're healthy for the first time all year. But here come the Vikings, who just went into Detroit and beat the Lions. JJ McCarthy looked good. This is an interesting matchup, don't you think?
It is interesting. The Vikings are better than I feel like Detroit just had a really rough game, and I feel like Minnesota is looking better than they are maybe coming into this week. I do think it's going to be a competitive game. What's interesting is they have not played a single snap with all five of their starting O linemen so far this season. Zero snaps with all five of
Yeah.
them there. So you talk about teams getting healthy at the right times. That ain't Minnesota, and they're doing pretty damn well for it. But if you look back at these two teams, because the purple teams playing each other, I had to go dig up a little bit. The Vikings
Mhm.
are 3-4 against the Ravens all time. All 3 years Minnesota won that matchup, they went to the NFC Championship game.
Okay.
So that seems to be like the barometer for this team making it and having Super Bowl aspirations is do they beat the Ravens in the regular season? So it'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see how this plays out. I am gonna roll with the Baltimore here. I mean, fully healthy. Like you look at how many injuries they've bounced back from over the past couple weeks. Like
Yeah.
they look great on paper this week. And I do think the Vikings looked great and improved over Detroit, but I do think the Ravens defense is so much better than Detroit's that it's going to be a bit of a different story.
Yeah, I agree. And I was very impressed with the Vikings limiting the Lions' run game. And so if they can limit Derrick Henry and Keaton Mitchell, if they can slow that down and make the Ravens one-sided, pass happy, that could help them. That's their recipe to win. But I don't expect JJ McCarthy to have another great game. And I expect the Ravens to do enough to get the win here. But it could be, close. So we'll see. But we agree, both taking the Ravens here. And keep an eye on Baltimore. I think, they win this, it'll be three in a row. That starts to snowball, and
Mhm.
they could ride this, to a division championship and go into the playoffs hot.
Well, it's crazy to me how good Lamar Jackson has been in his career against NFC teams. He is
Yeah.
24-3 against the NFC.
His career numbers are insane. He's got the best quarterback passer rating of all time.
Yeah. He's quietly very good and he doesn't have that big loud personality. Like nobody dislikes Lamar. Like he's not a quarterback that people are talking shit about ever. What's interesting to me in this matchup is you look at how these teams like play. Like Minnesota's defense blitzes about almost half the time. But Lamar Jackson's team, they're so good against the blitz. Like you look at how he
Yeah.
lines up, like so their weaknesses and strengths match up really well. I'm excited for this one. I think it's gonna be fun, but Lamar Jackson is a very different quarterback than Jared Goff. So that Vikings defense better be ready to go.
Yeah, and Derrick Henry, you can't let him get going. I think it'll be like a clutch win. I think it's going to be close, but I think the Ravens get it done. Um, Now, from that great game, let's go to the Browns at the Jets. Two of the worst teams in the NFL. The Jets just traded away Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams. Uh, we'll see if Myles Garrett has another 5 sacks, but I don't know who to pick in this one. What do you think?
Um, Cleveland? Uh, I mean, not that Dylan Gabriel and the Browns offense inspire any more confidence in me than Justin Fields, but I just feel like y the vibes from New York are that they've fully scrapped this season. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like they want to win. Um, I was just I feel like I just feel like they're out on the season. Like they've traded away 5 top 10 picks in the last 8 seasons. Like this team is just cleaning house. And the Browns are coming off a bye, so Cleveland, I
Well,
guess.
both teams coming off their bye. The Browns will be without two rookies, Isaiah Bond and Harold Fannin Jr.
I
So
feel
that's
like the
something.
Jets weren't on a bye though. I feel like they lost this week, even though they didn't play. Like, does that make sense?
In a
Like,
way, they did. But last time we saw the Jets, they pulled out 39 points on offense. So
yeah, before they threw their team away. Like, I don't.
give me the Jets here. I'm picking the Jets.
Okay, that being said, since I had a feeling you were going to do that, the Jets coming off a bye in their last 9 games after a bye, they are 1-8 with a minus 108 point differential.
This is the new era. This is the Aaron Glenn era. That's throw that in the trash.
Okay. Yeah. For some reason, most teams get better after the bye. They like have time to rest. So that's a crazy stat to be that
Yeah.
crappy coming off a bye. Like, why? Was it just poor matchups, like bad luck? Um, yeah. I think that's so funny. I wrote that down specifically because I had you picking the Jets team to win. I was like, I'm gonna save this for later. I think it'll be useful.
You know what? Okay, if you're gonna pick the Browns, you know what the key to the Browns winning here is? Dylan Gabriel. I'm not rooting for this, but Dylan Gabriel either struggles or gets hurt or gets benched. Shador Sanders is the backup quarterback for this game. Let's put him in
You want
there.
him to come in? I
Yeah,
feel like the Jets defense is going to go because Dylan Gabriel likes to go up the middle. He is not complicated. He is not complex. Like he is simple. Like he is a one vision kind of guy. Straight down the middle. I think that Jets defense can get after him for sure.
yeah,
I just the vibes in New York can't be that good right now. Like you got
yeah,
half of your good players gone. Like players tweeting like, "No, take me with you." Like,
yeah.
that's not a
Blue
good look.
calling it out.
That's
Yeah,
not a good look.
yeah. So this game's a toss-up. It could go either way. It's hard to pick when two teams are this bad,
It
but
really is.
we're gonna disagree on this one. So we
Do
disagree
you
on
need
two
a
games
Jets
to
quarter too? Make a quarter for the Jets as well.
we need a Jets quarter to pick a quarterback. That's what we
Yeah.
need.
Well, Cleveland too.
Um,
I mean, honestly.
Seriously, these two teams are so bad, and they got to figure it out. And they're pretty much playing for high draft picks at this point. Um, this is a much better
What
matchup.
game do you think is going to be the ugliest this week? Raiders Denver or Cleveland New York?
It better be Raiders Denver. There better not be anything uglier than that. That's all I gotta say.
I love the sentencing videos of it's silent, but it's a judge talking to someone and the caption is I sentence you to rewatch the entire game beginning to end and the guy going to prison is like no that's yeah that game was so I feel like that needs to be a punishment. You have to sit there and watch it through beginning to end again.
Hey, I watched it beginning to end live, so
I did, but I'm just saying that should be a punishment for something like just it was so ugly. Okay, sorry. I'm done hating on Denver,
um
guys. Sorry, my apologies.
so this is a game you'll be excited about. The 7-2 Patriots at the 6-2 Bucks. Red hot New England coming on a 6-game winning streak against Baker Mayfield. These are two quarterbacks that are at the top of the MVP talk. I can't wait for this matchup.
It's crazy to me that it's like, oh, the Patriots with the best quarterback they've had since Tom Brady versus the Bucks with the best quarterback they've had since Tom Brady. I love that.
Yeah.
So Brady
Um,
2.0 in both places. Tampa Bay coming off their bye week. I love both of these quarterbacks. Like they both have a lot of pizzazz, to say the whitest word of all time. Um, My concern in this one is I feel like the Bucks have adjusted to being out Bucky Irving and Chris Godwin, and I feel like the Patriots haven't quite adjusted to Stevenson and Boutte being out.
yeah. Yeah, and they do have rookie Travion Henderson, but Booty is a good wide receiver, and we'll see how Drake May does. Tampa Bay has some great defenders. They got Vita Vea, Levante David, Antoine Winfield Jr., who have had touchdowns taken away from them. The Bucks quietly have been a turnover, taking the ball away and scoring touchdowns. Winfield. Who was that one guy who picked off Spencer Rattler last week for the
Oh,
touchdown? Like,
I don't
you know
remember
what I
who it
mean?
was.
Yeah,
The most rude pick six of all time, right in his face.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't
yeah.
remember who that was, but yeah, rough times. Um, but coming into the bye, Baker Mayfield was not on a hot streak by any means. He had a rough streak there going into the bye. So I think Baker's going to be spicy. Um, I don't know. This one is very close, which I like. But like New England's defense has been playing really well too. They haven't had a running back hit 50 rushing yards in a game. And I mean that's the longest streak to begin a season by any team Super Bowl era. Like so their defense is playing well, their offense is playing well. I'm tempted to take New England, but it's Baker, so I don't know.
I think you should take New England because you know how I love taking Baker against you. So I'm going Bucks. You
I
know,
wrote Bucks. I wrote Bucks with a question mark in my picks. And to be fair, my question marks are like circle back and discuss. Uh,
yeah. You make a pick with a question mark, I just leave it blank. And
Yeah.
that's how we tell, like, I don't know about this game.
I don't like a blank one. I like because I'm generally like 51-49. Like I'm never like straight 50-50. Um, oh, I don't know. I think I'll uh Tampa Bay
Go
has given up
Bucks.
the fifth most rushing yards per game to quarterbacks too. So I,
Yeah, so here I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. If you just pick the Bucks, because on the show you're going to pick the Patriots, and then you're going to message me right before
before the
kickoff, and you're
game.
like,
Like, I
"I'm
can't
taking
do
the
it.
Bucks."
Yeah, guys, I do that with Josh Allen and Baker Mayfield way too often. I'm
Yeah.
like, the team should win, but he's got heart. And normally it's the right pick at the end. Um, Interesting thing to pay attention to in this one. The Patriots left tackle Will Campbell is 56th amongst qualifying tackles. He is bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out because Drake May likes him a good sack. He is very sackable. He has 34 sacks so far this
Wow.
year. So it'll be interesting to see which one of them corrects that issue. Like, do the Bucks take advantage of the most sackable quarterback in the league, or does Drake May finally have a game where he doesn't get sacked?
I think it's a very evenly matched up game. I
Mhm.
think this is a 1 point game like it was for the Patriots last week.
Oh, quick correction. He is not the most sackable. Cam Ward is. Cam Ward has four more sacks. Sorry.
But Will Campbell did get owned last week. He needs to have
He
a
did.
bounce back week. But I'm going Tampa Bay. Are you?
Yeah.
All
I'll stick with
right.
my question mark. I need to be
Yeah.
able to root for Baker. I missed him this week. Green Bay had a rough week, so I was really missing my spicy quarterback to root for. So I'll root for him this week since I'm pretty sure Green Bay is not going to have a good week.
At least Josh Allen came through for you last week.
Yeah, yeah. Josh is like my old reliable. Like he's my old pickup truck. You can always count on Josh Allen to win in the regular season. Don't talk to me about postseason Josh Allen, but beating the Chiefs in the regular season, we're good.
If we ever interview Josh Allen, I'm going to tell him you called him an old pickup truck.
Because he's reliable and I trust him to get me from point A to point Z, and we're not going to get stuck in a snowdrift. I feel like he wouldn't
Uh,
argue with that. Like he's the golden retriever. He's like the classic American go-to.
all right, 1-8 Saints at the 5-4 Panthers. I have a feeling Tyler Shucks is going to have Saints fans saying "Aw shucks" throughout this game as Carolina takes it to
Sorry,
him.
I didn't vet his notes for that, guys. I apologize.
But I mean, Amanda, quietly, the Panthers. I hate to talk about them in a positive way after last week, but they're playing good football. They really are.
They're not like the Owen whatever Panthers. The Panthers are well, like they're playing well. They're over 500. Rico Dowdle has put so much energy back into this offense. Like he's
Yeah.
I mean, does he get some stupid flags for thrusting his hips one too many times? Maybe. Like I feel like
Well,
he
he
needs to like
thought
roll
two
his
was
hip.
cool.
He needs to do the hip roll, like the circle instead of the
Yeah.
thrusts, because
Yeah.
circles are fine, thrusts aren't. Like he needs to watch Travis Kelce's celebrations and see which ones have gotten flagged and which ones don't. Um,
Yeah.
I just how do you pick the Saints here? Like
No, you can't pick them. Then they're going to be without Tali Fuaga, Alvin Kamara, and Brian Brzee are questionable. Tenero McMillan is questionable for Carolina, but the Panthers are just the way more talented team. You know what I mean? And with that, their
well,
running
and
game is
also the Saints just traded away Tyler Schultz's favorite. I mean, he
yeah,
had a team high five of his 15 completions in their last loss. Like, how do
yeah.
you let Rashid Shaheed go after being the number one on the team the past couple weeks? Like, I understand you're in a full team meltdown and you're trading off your players, but like the his go-to is gone now. Like, there's no way that the Saints can pull this one off.
It was weird to me. If I'm trading players away, I'm trading away Chris Olave and Alvin Kamara and
Yeah,
keeping Rashid Shaheed.
the big names with larger contracts,
Yeah,
not the youngins who are just starting to build chemistry. Get rid of the veteran, like proven players. I thought that was a
yeah,
very strange move.
yeah. I don't know what the Saints are doing, and I
Clearly,
don't
neither
think
do they.
And yeah, division rivalry, you never know, but Carolina at home, I cannot pick against them. So,
Yeah, I mean, like, who do you think's the better team, New Orleans or Green Bay? Like,
no, Green Bay for sure.
sorry, my nose is a little itchy. No, but I definitely, I think that the Panthers, I think we've just been conditioned as a country to be used to them being terrible, and we're just
Yeah.
ignoring how good they are because we're all like, I mean, we've got Stockholm syndrome from the Panthers being the number one pick year after year. Like, they're not in a conversation of being a team that's over 500 going into week 10. Like,
No, they win this game, and you got to start talking about the playoffs as a
it's
possibility.
I'm not used to that at all. So I feel like just, I mean, you look at that division, like we got Bucks and Carolina, and like,
Yeah.
okay. But
Yeah.
we're just so conditioned to just subconsciously be like, oh, it's the Panthers, they suck. But they don't actually this year. It is embarrassing as
Yeah.
a Packers fan to have lost to them, though. So that's,
Yeah, and Green Bay's got a little bit of that Denver slow start to them, and they need
uh,
to figure that out. They're far too talented to be playing like that.
so we will talk about this a little bit in a minute, but I have said multiple times Green Bay has a no-show policy where
Mhm.
sometimes their offense doesn't show up. Cleveland, Carolina, sometimes their defense doesn't show up. Dallas. And
Yeah.
they're 8 points shy of being having 8 wins. 8 points. That's how many points
Yeah.
they've lost their games by.
That's
Like
crazy.
it's ridiculous because if we played all sides of the ball, all 4 quarters in every game, we would win every week. Like
Mhm. Yeah.
it's just
Well,
ridiculous. And like being dead last in kickoff returns and dead last in special teams, like that's not going to help anyone win a game, guys.
yeah. But the Packers, I like the Packers talent. I picked them to go to the Super Bowl, so we'll see if they can get their shit together.
But
How about
speaking of your Super Bowl pick, talk to me about the Texans because a year
the
ago,
That
people
is
were
not my
talking
Super
about,
Bowl pick.
well, a year ago, people were talking about the Texans being a year or two shy of a Super Bowl run. And this Texans team has just fallen off so much since then.
Well, and they started to get things rolling in the right direction, and then CJ Stroud gets that concussion. I think if CJ Stroud plays, they beat Denver last week.
Mhm.
Now he misses that game and he misses this week. So Davis Mills is getting the start. The Jags are competitive. I mean, they're 5-3. We talked about this a couple weeks ago about how they're the eye test would say the Jags are bad, but they're winning games, and now they trade for Jacoby Myers to help with the receivers. So this is an interesting game for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about this game too long and I like went into this rabbit hole, but like
Yeah.
Jacksonville's inconsistent on defense. Houston's defense is great, but I don't trust their offense. But then I don't really love Trevor Lawrence. I mean, he's averaging under 7 yards per throw for the first time since his rookie season. Like Jacoby Myers doesn't seem like it's not Devontae Adams coming in there. Like, is he helpful to the offense? Yeah. Do I think he's going to be an instant life-changing move? Maybe not. Um, it's
Well, I think where he helps is I heard this stat this week. The Jags lead the NFL in drops. Brian Thomas Jr. issues and all those guys on that side of the ball. So Jacoby Myers has a really high, catch percentage. So I think that's going to help Trevor Lawrence in the offense. Parker Washington's coming on. So we'll see. The Texans have similar issues as well. No Brian Thomas Jr., no Travis Hunter for Jacksonville.
like I want to pick Jacksonville because like they've already beat Houston in week 3. Like, and even in that game, like they had the eighth worst passer rating of his career. And
Yeah.
then, like, obviously without the starting quarterback, you'd think you would pick them to win again. But losing Brian Thomas Jr. is huge. And then their defense has softened up quite a bit. Like, I don't want to pick Davis Mills to win a game because,
Well,
yeah,
and remember last week, Jacksonville needed overtime to beat the Raiders and
yeah,
even allowed a touchdown and almost a 2-point conversion to lose. So Jacksonville is not playing perfect by any means.
no.
I'm going Jacksonville here, but just because CJ Stroud isn't playing.
Yeah. I mean, but he was in what, three-quarters of last week, and they still barely. I mean,
Davis Mills.
no, didn't CJ Stroud go out pretty late in the game against Denver?
I can look that up here real quick.
I feel like it was in the into the third quarter.
I want to
I
say
don't
it
know.
was.
This is one of those like close. I don't know.
No, he left in the first half.
Was it the first half? Okay.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I'm
you know what?
going.
I'm mixing that up with the blowout loss
Oh, okay.
with
I
Jaden Daniels. That was the third quarter or fourth quarter. Yeah, that
just
was a
pick
late
the
game starting
just
QB.
pick the Jags. You know you're gonna pick Jacksonville.
I don't like either of these teams at all. Like Mills
It-
was 5-19-1 when he was the Texan starter. Like I have no
yeah.
faith in him. Like D'Amico Ryans is like, no, he had a full week of practice this time. I'm like, you don't think he had a full week of practice when he was the starter for a year and a half? Like, oh, okay.
I was never impressed with Davis Mills. He's a
Never.
decent backup, but he's not a good starter.
So we've talked about how crazy this NFL season is. There are three teams with winning records but negative point differentials this season: Panthers, Bears, and Jags. So the animal
Wow.
teams over here just,
The animal teams.
I guess I'll take Jacksonville, but
Yeah.
I feel like it's against my will.
Well, you got to pick one. It's going to be against your will, regardless of who you pick in this game.
You know what? I wrote Houston with two question marks. I'm just gonna leave it. I don't have the energy to change it when
All
uh,
right. Well, good. I mean, that way I can be up 2 games next week. I'll be feeling happy. So sounds good.
okay. You thought you were gonna be up a couple games this week too, but here we are.
All right. Cardinals, Seahawks. Seattle on a 3-game winning streak. The Cardinals officially bench Kyler Murray and place him on IR. Looking like that's the end of Kyler Murray in Arizona. Jacoby Brissett has come in and provided a spark, but I don't see the Cardinals going into Seattle and winning. Do you?
No. I mean, Seattle just flew across the country in prime time, beat the brakes off of Washington.
Yeah.
Seattle is the most stable team in the NFL so far this season,
And they
which
just added Rashid Shaheed too.
which is concerning because Seattle fans are obnoxious in Washington State when they are winning. God,
Yeah.
they're insufferable. I don't think you guys understand. Like, oh, they're heinous. And I like the idea of rooting for the local team. Green Bay and Seattle was never in direct competition back in the day when I moved here, and I was like, I'll root for the local team. Then Seattle started playing well when Russ came to
The
town,
Legion
and
of Boom.
I changed my mind. And it's fine. Like, I'll root for good players. Like, I had friends dating players on the team, but the fans are just monstrous.
Yeah.
So not all of them. I know some Seattle fans are chill, but man, they're noisy and just flashy and obnoxious. But yeah, absolutely rolling with Seattle here. Sam Darnold is having a ridiculous year. JSN is completely unbeatable. Like their vibes are good. They seem like they're having fun. I love a team that goes out and looks like they're having fun. Like Pittsburgh and Seattle, the vibes just look immaculate there. But ain't no way Arizona wins this one.
Yeah, they're bringing in Rashid Shaheed. Cooper Kupp is healthy. AJ Barner is back. Sam Darnold, he's an excellent regular season quarterback. He won 14 games last week, and he's on pace to do it again, win 13 or 14 here. But playoffs is when I'll judge Sam Darnold. But he's a great regular season guy.
Can we talk about Cooper Kupp coaching on the sidelines through his injury?
I didn't
He
see
was
that.
on the sidelines with a freaking clipboard talking to the other players on the team, like just
That's,
chilling.
you gotta love that as a fan.
I love it. I feel like he would make a great coach, like post
Yeah,
NFL too. Like he just
yeah,
seems like the kind of guy who could show up and like get down to the nitty gritty with receivers. I think he would make an excellent coach. Like looking at how he was through his injury, I'm excited to see him back. I just there's no way Arizona wins this one. They're just
yeah.
so dysfunctional. Jacoby Brissett being a step up from anyone is concerning. And I have cracked a lot of jokes about Kyler Murray, but I just wish he had been a wide receiver instead of a quarterback. He's quick on his
Well,
feet, he runs great routes, but in order to throw to receivers, you have to be able to see over defenders. And unless a team signs him and builds stilts into his cleats, that problem's not going to be corrected. Defenders are going to be tall everywhere.
Yeah, him and Tua both have that same issue. And Kyler Murray, he was drafted to play baseball. He could always go play baseball at any time. So,
Well, in baseball, height differences aren't an issue. Like as long as
yeah.
you're fast, it doesn't matter. Like I
Yeah.
just feel like maybe his agent and his coaching and his conversations when he was younger led him the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and I'm not hating on short people. I come from a whole family of short women. Like,
Mhm.
okay, I hate on short people a little bit, but that's just my sisters. But there are some physical attributes that make a good quarterback, and Kyler kind of lacks the biggest one.
Yeah. Yeah. So he had his moments, he had his opportunities, but at this point, it's run its course, and he's no longer going to be a Cardinal. And we both have Seattle here, so that should be an easy. Or it might be competitive. It might be a close game, but I think the Seahawks get the win. Keeping it in the NFC West. How about the 6-2 Rams at the 6-3 49ers? This is a great matchup. And if you remember on Thursday Night Football, we both picked the Rams, and the 49ers stunned them. And I believe it was in overtime. Um, so the 49ers at home with a chance to potentially sweep the Rams, who are quote unquote Super Bowl contenders. So if the 49ers pull this off, that'll really open some eyes. Do you think with all the injuries and all that Mac Jones and all that the 49ers are dealing with, can they get another win? Can they sweep the Rams?
So I don't think so. I feel like at some point
The injuries.
the injuries have to catch up, and I've said this for 2 weeks now. Like, I mean, I know they're 3-0 in the NFC West, like, but they've lost almost every single important player at one point or another this season. Like, you look at the injuries they've overcome and what they fought through. I just feel like with as close as the game was at that point in the season, I think the Rams are going to be ready for them here. Listen, I feel like the Rams on paper are the better team. They're healthier. The quarterback situation is better there. The defense is playing a bit better too. The Niners are out of pass rushers. So there's no
Yeah.
way I can pick the 49ers to win here. If they win, props to them. I have been saying all season they're the best team at next man up, at filling in those injury positions, and they've been fantastic at it. But at some point, doesn't their blood debt to the gods who have kept CMC healthy, doesn't that have to be paid? Like, what else could they possibly need at this point?
Yeah, the injuries have to catch up at some point. There's been so many. It's crazy that they're 6-3, considering that many injuries. The Rams look legit with Stafford and Puka and Devontae and all those
You
weapons.
do you want to hear a crazy stat speaking of their injuries?
Yeah.
So the Niners are so short on running backs that Mac Jones is fourth on the team in offensive touches. He has 27 carries. He is ranked fourth on the team.
Man, Mac Jones, though, he's a baller. He's a
He
winner.
is.
All he
He's
does is
having
win.
fun.
Yeah.
I feel like he could be a starting quarterback on a couple of these teams this year.
Yeah,
And I
for
mean,
sure.
Purdy is not playing this week. But it's interesting with the Purdy thing. Do you think he gets his spot back? Do you think they have like because it's interesting.
So
Like, yeah, he could play. He's not gonna, but he could. What?
if I think if the 49ers lose this game, that might
They
open
put
the
him back
door
in.
for him. Yeah.
I just think it's so
Uh,
funny. He's like, "Hey, coach, I'm good to go. Should I
yeah.
should I suit up?" And they're like, "No." Like, it just seems really awkward there right now. Like last week
Yeah.
before the game, they were like, "Oh, is Purdy good to go?" And Shanahan goes, "He could." What? What does that mean?
Well, Kyle wanted to draft Mac Jones too. It's a lot
Yeah.
of,
I
yeah.
just feel like he got his like ex back and he doesn't like he's like trying to like quietly quit his relationship with Brock Purdy. Like what do they call it? Like silent divorces where like the women just like stop emotionally engaging. Like I feel like that's what's
Yeah.
happening here. Like it's a quiet divorce with
He's
Purdy.
like hoping to just quietly piss off Brock Purdy until he asks for a trade, you know?
Yeah, that I feel like he's waiting for Purdy to leave him.
Um, fuck it. I'm gonna go 49ers.
Okay.
Go for the
And like
sweep.
I wouldn't be shocked here. Like this isn't one of those games where I'm like, no, absolutely no way the Niners. Like if Arizona wins this week, I will be aghast. Like I will be shocked. But like this one, the
It could
49ers are
go.
pulling off some squeaky wins, and it's been an interesting season for them. But on paper, the Rams should win this.
Yeah,
I
and
just
Kyle Shanahan has won the majority of the games against Sean McVay. So,
yeah.
but McVay is pissed off after losing at home, earlier in the season. So it's going to be a great matchup. I think it's going to be really physical, and it could go either way. So, um, the 5-3 Lions at the 3-6 Commanders. No Jaden Daniels, so Marcus Mariota will start. Detroit's mad after losing at home to the Vikings. I think they're going to be focused on getting their run game going against a bad Commanders defense. No Luke McCaffrey, no Marshawn Lattimore, no Dorrance Armstrong, no Terry McLaurin. Injuries in Washington are a big deal too. There's no way I can pick the Commanders here.
Yeah, same. I mean, Kirby Joseph is a big loss for the Lions, like being down their best safety. But Detroit hasn't lost back-to-back regular season games in more than 3 years. So
Yeah.
regardless, if the Commanders were fully healthy, I would still pick Detroit here. But
If the Commanders are fully healthy, I'd pick the Commanders. But considering the
Dan
injuries,
Campbell does not lose 2 games in a row. Like he just doesn't.
yeah, and yeah, so all signs are pointing to Detroit here. There's no way I can pick against them, even though I would love to, but I can't in this
Also,
situation.
do you not remember what happened in the divisional round of the postseason last year? You don't
Yeah,
think Detroit's coming into this one a little spicy? They
yeah,
lost 45 to 31. This Detroit defense is so much better than that this year.
yeah. He's gonna have them fired up.
Yeah.
Dan
Fired up
Campbell.
against second strings and a bunch of ace bandages. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's Detroit's absolutely going to win this one.
yeah. They're probably gonna put up like 48 or 51
Yeah.
on them.
I think it's going to be a revenge game against like a very damaged team. I don't think it's going to be a fair fight.
And the Commanders are just seeing their season fall apart. Injuries are a big reason why, but they're staring at 3-7 in the face. So let's go to Sunday Night Football. This is going to be a great matchup. I'm really looking forward to this one. The 5-3 Steelers at the 6-3 Chargers. And to me, the big factor here, I was really impressed with Pittsburgh last week, avoiding a 3-game losing streak, getting a big win against a red hot Colts team, forcing all those turnovers. But the big thing to me is the Joe Alt injury. That's massive for the Chargers. I'm a big Chargers fan, a big Harbaugh fan, but I got to go Steelers here on the road.
Yeah, that's my deciding factor too. I mean, being down Slater and Alt for the season, and Bobby Hart and Becton are uncertain still. Like
Yeah,
trading for Trevor Penning helps a bit, but I don't know how much one person can do to shift the outcome of this game. Like they're
yep,
just so injury hit. And you look at Herbert, I mean, he's taken 28 sacks, third most in the league. We talked about number one and number two, 80 quarterback hits, which is the most. I just feel like he's harder to sack because he's a little slippery. But I feel like he's going to be under duress. You look at how Pittsburgh played last week,
yeah,
and he's already getting hit regularly. I feel like it's going to be bad if Pittsburgh's defense shows up like they did last week. It seemed like everything was finally clicking. Like against Green Bay, they were awful. Last week they came in spicy. They came in a little pissed off. The Steelers' offense concerning. Where's the run game? Like we haven't seen them fix their offense, but I feel like this defense is going to be after him so much.
yeah. I would have loved to see the Steelers make a trade for a Jalen Waddle, Rashid Shaheed, or Brees Hall would have been great, or
Brees
even
Hall would have been
Alvin
so
Kamara.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but so but yeah, I gotta go Steelers here, and I think, and that's the entire key to the Steelers. I picked them. That's my Super Bowl winning team this year in the preseason, and it's all hinged around the defense. And if T.J. Watt and Alex Highsmith play like they did last week, Cameron Hayward is important in the middle, and then those young linebackers, Jack Sawyer,
Mhm.
Peyton Wilson, I think it is. Those guys are really good, and so. I gotta go Steelers here.
Same. And then you look at how they lost to the Packers. They went back to basics after that loss. Tomlin said
Yeah.
we just simplified everything on defense. And he was saying the more subtle, intangible things, the basics, that's what's exciting for us because Ramsey's getting more experience back there. So we're just expecting them to be more cohesive, and this is what they're going to look like moving forward. They made these adjustments, and these adjustments are staying. So this is going to be the same defense we saw last week. They haven't made any changes. They're just going to be slightly more fluid with it because it'll be their second game lined up like this. Yeah, I think the Steelers definitely start going on a run here.
Yeah, I agree. So we agree on Sunday Night Football, Steelers over the Chargers. And now we get to talk about Monday Night Football, and this is an absolutely massive game for your Green Bay Packers.
I don't want to talk about it.
But it's a big opportunity. I know they've struggled, but they've played their best football against the best opponents. They
Yeah,
looked great against Detroit. They looked great against Pittsburgh. This is an opportunity to put them officially in the contender bucket. You know what I mean? In that tier. If they can win, they're at home, right? That's in Lambeau. No
that being said, you're
excuses.
picking the Eagles.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Convince me to pick the Packers here.
The last time we played against Philadelphia, Jordan Love threw three interceptions and ended our season.
Oh, Jair Alexander against his former team. That's something to keep an eye on too.
Um, Green Bay is dead last in punt return yards, averaging 5 yards a return. The last team to have five or fewer yards per return was the Packers in 2020. The team before that was also the Packers. So special teams, definitely a sore spot for Green Bay, but also offense and defense after last week.
I
And
have
I
a
know I just
feeling
said
they're going to
Carolina's
show up
better than I
though.
think they are, but it's still the fucking Panthers. Like, that's still embarrassing. And we're down Tucker Kraft, who's been our most reliable, productive
That one sucks.
offensive player for reception. So that's
That's a
rough.
big loss.
I do not
For
like the
sure.
timing of this matchup. I wish it was during Toyotathon. Um,
Um, but Philly, there's times when Philly goes stagnant offensively, and
they put up 276 yards on running game last week. So
well, you have to stop the run. You can't let Saquon go crazy.
I
But
just, Philly's gonna win this one, and then Green Bay will bounce back during Toyotathon. It'll be fine. But
so are you picking Philly? That's my
I
big question. You are?
yeah, yeah. Didn't you see I wore my Philly green today?
Then
I would never rep Philly, but yeah,
you've got a helmet right behind you that says differently.
I am picking Philadelphia to win here. I just think Green Bay hasn't done enough. I think we need more defense. I think Mr. Free Agent needs to change his visit to a tryout, and we need yeah, Green. I wish this game was in 3 weeks. I wish we had time to make more adjustments post Tucker Craft, and we just haven't yet. I just don't say that they. And also, Philly's got to be a little butthurt about Green Bay being the team to try to get the tush push banned from the NFL. You don't think they're going to come in and just the first possession of the game, just six tush pushes in a row, just to like a little uh a little sass back to Green Bay? Because we were the team that started the hey, let's get rid of the tush push. I feel like
Yeah.
they're gonna push as many tushes as possible in this matchup just to stick it to Green Bay for being
Well,
the ones to try to shut that down.
well, we'll see if Green Bay can stop it. We'll see if they can slow Saquon Barkley. Micah Parsons, he knows Philly well. He knows Jalen Hurts
Yeah.
well. Can he get after the quarterback? Rashawn Gary is having a career season. So
Yeah.
getting after Hurts is going to be big.
The Eagles have the fewest turnovers in the NFL, so maybe Xavier McKinney will get number two.
Yeah.
They're tied for their fewest through 8 games of all time, though. So it is poor timing for Green Bay. I feel like Philly is just they're good right now. Green Bay's bad right now. I don't think the Packers squeak this one out.
I'm going to switch it up just to that way. I don't know. I'm going to switch it up, though. I'm going to take Green Bay here.
Green Bay's gonna
Uh,
lose by 40 now, just because you did that. Just so you know.
well, 40 or 1 point, it doesn't matter, right? So um, but I'm going to take Green Bay, and I believe in the Packers. I believe in the Packers more than a lot of Packer fans do. They,
What's funny to me is we are so spoiled as a fandom that like our record is awful to us. Meanwhile, like Bears fans are like losing their minds with a similar record. Like it's just funny to me. We're spoiled. I'm sorry, guys. This is just who we are.
I mean, you never know. And this season, especially, it's a week to week league, and so we'll see who shows up on Monday night. The Packers are capable of it. Jordan Love is capable of throwing for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, but
Beat Josh
which
Jacobs.
angel's going to be on his shoulder? Brett Favre or
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers? Like
yeah,
he and Bo Nix need to be Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde homies because they have two personalities, and which one comes out is a week to week decision.
yeah. It's going to be interesting. But we're not both going to pick against Green Bay here. I'll pick Green Bay so that, maybe some good vibes for your team.
And
But
that gives us five this week that we're different on.
okay, and you're up one, so I'll be up two next week, and I'll be happy with that.
Unfortunately, I will have to be happy if Green Bay loses by 30 now. So
But if Green Bay wins, then I'll have the lead in games, but you'll be happy.
also, I reserve the right to swap my pick on Monday. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
exactly. And you're
We'll
gonna do
see.
it too. I know
We'll see what the
it.
vibes are, guys. If Buffalo loses and Baker Mayfield loses, I'm switching to Green Bay because there ain't no way.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to subscribe, like, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Tell us who your picks are. Tell us if you think we're crazy. We're working on getting some big names on the show here soon, especially come playoff time. So stay tuned for that. And AAA will be back next week. And have a great week, guys. Peace out.